Somehow we got loose from what was oh so tight. Somewhere we went wrong when we were oh so
Hey y'all.
right. What's it meant to do when you
Hey.
just can't take
Hold
no more?
on.
What's
What
it
y'all doing?
meant to now I've tried again.
Hold
Another
on.
safety end. Tell me what's the use of holding.
Y'all, I've been listening to all my old music. Hola, hola. How y'all doing? It is cold. I went outside this morning to journal, baby. I came right back in. And I already know that this nail right here is going to pop off. Just don't worry about it. It ain't going to stay on. But that's what these I said, I'm back to high school days. I used to change my nails every day when I was in high school. About all them dang press-ons. And I'm back to it at 45. Hey, it's so cold. Yeah. I woke up. I thought I was about to go outside and journal. No, ma'am, you won't be doing that. Not and not freezing to death. You ain't gonna do it. So I was up from like 10 o'clock to 5 for like 4:30 this morning, just in here. I done grabbed out all kind of books and was in the bathroom and going back and forth. The big green book ain't in here. It felt so good. It was quiet. My phone wasn't pinging and dinging or nothing. I was just looking up all kind of stuff, just whatever was coming to my mind. There was some interesting stuff that I looked at, and I know the dates and stuff have meaning. Um, May 17th of like 1350 or some year like that. I don't really know. Is when the folks gave the people the golden calf. May 17th. That's interesting. And this man keep on putting up this golden hymn thing. I said it's interesting that a lot of that stuff is repeating itself right now, which is really crazy. And the dates are really, really crazy. You know, the fact that the dates is like I had got the big green book out and I was looking because what kept coming to my mind last night is what all was going on in the days of Noah. That's what came to me. Hey, what all was happening in the days of Noah? We know it was giants, we know it was whatever, but what else was happening? And I thought about it, and so I went and I looked, and it was talking about the two Lamechs. Well, something interesting that I kept running into when I was looking at the timelines is certain people was living, you know, we didn't went through this before, um, but certain people was living at certain times, and so like the city of Troy was established in when Moses was alive. The famous city of Troy was established when he was alive, Moses, and we know who lived there. So I was just going back and looking at different things and seeing what was happening right before the flood. As much information, who was living, what they was doing, and that Lamech of Cain book that we have has a lot of the information that was happening before before the flood, right? So I was just going back and looking at different things because it's like, okay, Dad, you said as in the days of Noah. What all do that mean? What all does that mean? I see they said four volcanoes erupted at the same time, at like one in Japan, one in Myanmar, or whatever it's called, and then two other places. Y'all saw that? Anybody else see it? You did? Yeah. So I just been trying to figure out like what what is we dealing with here is the question. What is we dealing with? And I want to say this. Remember the other day when I couldn't really form words that much and I just kept breathing and shaking my head and I was like, I can't really explain to y'all how I feel. If you all keep up with Aaron Partners, which I'm pretty sure most of the world does, he said something and it was like, that's exactly what I was trying to say, but I didn't have the words. Thank you, Aaron. I want y'all to look at this and tell me, well, not tell me, but let me see. Why don't you close off Ozell and then go? That's a better deal, right? Yeah, here's breaking news right now. The United States Supreme Court is now requiring the Trump administration to facilitate the return of Lamar. We're not talking about that. So where is it? Let me see if I saved it. Hold on, y'all. I did. Okay, so here we go. I found it. And honestly, right now, I don't want to work. I told y'all I'll always be honest with y'all. And honestly, right now, I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. And before people come for me and they're like, oh, he's Gen Z, he doesn't want to work. That's not it. When you spend your entire day consuming negative news like I do, it takes a toll on your mental health. And yes, I could take a break. Yes, I'm going to take a break. My birthday's in, what now, 6 days, April 16th, so I'm going to take a break on my birthday. I'm gearing out to put out my evening news report on my Substack. Go check it out, link in bio. And I just was sitting here and I was just like, this isn't fun. Like, seeing helicopters crash tragically is awful. Seeing planes get potentially hit on a runway, hearing about how people are losing their benefits, how it's going to be harder for people to vote, and just giving it the facts and keeping it all neutral. It's not easy. Like, the news overload, like, I'm really feeling it. And I know you are too, but I am really feeling it. So, yeah, I told you I'd always be honest and raw, and this is how I am honestly feeling right now. You can shit on me. I don't care. Social media isn't real life, but I do want to share a little bit of my real life with you. And so this is how I'm feeling. Thank you, Aaron. So the other day when I was like, yeah, I don't really know, it's getting a little, because we reported it years ago. We had to think about it then. Excuse me. Plan for it. And now it's happening. And I ain't gonna lie. Everything he said is being the person that is, did you see it? And, all of that kind of stuff. It is a lot. It is a lot. And sometimes if you don't have nothing else outside of that, it can really weigh on your mental. You know what I mean? So if it felt like I was off the other day, I was. Because when I say I've been thinking. You know what I mean? And it's not about, oh, this or that. It's like everything all at once. But not overwhelming, but it's just like, it could be draining. You know what I mean? It's a lot. I love you, Sarah. For real. Yeah. It could be a lot. So, if y'all feel like I'm off, I am. Just a little bit. And it's okay because I'm human and I'm a real person. I said, Aaron, not you taking how I was feeling, though. So, I've been trying to, like, when I said I want y'all to do things that make y'all happy and all of that, because you got to think, I've been a bearer of bad news for a few years now. People wasn't trying to fool with me and all of that. And so, I just been trying to just kind of, because we live in it. Everybody can see, well, not everybody, but most people can see what's happening and what's going on and stuff like that. So I ask that y'all bear with me, and hopefully y'all giving Mr. Aaron the same thing, because people be getting mad at you for stuff. You just the messenger. That's it. That's all. They be a little irritated with you, or rolling their eyes. It's like, I'm just trying to tell you what you need to prepare for, get ready for, whatever. I do, Sharon. I have been. I've been decompressing. That's exactly what I've been doing. That's exactly what I've been doing. I've been taking long baths and just thinking. And like I said, I got up. I could have got online, baby. I got up and I got my books. All I just kept coming in here, pulling out books, looking at different stuff, and have my coffee. So yeah, yep. I'm trying to enjoy everything around me. All the things that I already have, I'm trying to enjoy them before I can. And that is my mindset. And I hope y'all are kind of picking that up. Like, pick up one of your books, or go look at your garden, or sit out on the porch, or I don't know, something. It don't got to cost no money. You could just do things that you enjoy before we don't get to do the things that we enjoy. Right? Right. So we're going to go through a few videos and just see what y'all feel about it. If we talked about it, I ain't even gonna ask. Just say it. If you feel like we talked about it. If you're open.
Your breaking news right now, China is upping the ante. China has raised its tariffs on the United States to 125% in response to the 145% tariffs Donald Trump imposed on China. Now here's where things get interesting. We have some major breaking news right now. China is upping the ante. China has raised its tariffs on the United States to 125% in response to the 145% tariffs Donald Trump imposed on China. Now, here's where things get interesting. According to reports, Donald Trump requested a personal phone call with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Instead of returning that message and setting up that phone call, China said it's not afraid of the United States, it's not afraid of Donald Trump, and decided to just ramp up tariffs instead. And as a result, this trade war has now gotten personal between two world leaders who want to win. And neither looks like it's going to back down. And as a result, you know what's going to impact? TikTok. TikTok will likely be banned if China and the United States don't figure.
We're not worried about that, but 120. So remember when we talked about the noodles the other day and how the flour goes over there, and then they make the noodles for us, and then they send them back. Noodles and stuff like that gonna have 125% tariff on it. Noodles, socks, drawers. So not only are they, and something is going on. Remember I told y'all what happened when I went to my P.O. box and then I had went to send some stuff out? Well, I sent some stuff out. I told you I sent my daughters all my pans. I paid to send the pans, and now they talking about after all of this stuff. I'm like, why they haven't delivered, the stuff? They put a note on my daughter's door talking about it's gonna be $33 and some change to get the box that I already paid for. You can't ship this ain't COD. You gotta pay to ship it. So where the extra $33.64 or $33 and whatever? Yeah. I said, you still ain't got your box? She was like, no. I'm like, are you sure? She got to the door. She said, something on my door. 33. I already paid for it. I couldn't have shipped it if I didn't pay for it. Kid you not. An extra $33. I said, how did I send it if I didn't pay for it? That don't make no sense. You need to pay for something I already sent, so be mindful of that. Yeah, sure did. She said, Mom, what is this? I said, I don't know. But they tripping because I got the receipt. And this is through the post office, the United States Post Office. And I saw just know this, it's some stuff going on. Like I told y'all, when they made me come up there and show all my stuff at the place, and then the lady had said something when I went to the post office, I said, yeah, okay. Who remembers us talking about get the stuff before they start monitoring everything too quickly? Remember? I said you ain't really gonna be able to send no packages and stuff like that. Y'all remember we talked about that? They gonna be on them packages and all of that stuff. So get your stuff now while nobody's worried about it. Because look what they're doing with the post office. They cracking down on everything that got to do with packages. They can hold your packages. I found a journal entry, y'all, from last year, right? And remember when I told y'all, I said I don't want to fly. It feel like I'm getting processed into jail. Remember I kept telling y'all that? I said I don't want to fly. I've been to jail before. And I don't like how this is making me feel going through that thing. Well, look at what's happening now. You can go through the line and end up in jail at that airport. If you got stuff that's talking crazy about Trump or Elon, now they can go through your phone, they can strip search you and make you take a shower. That's jail processing, babe. And put you in a room where you code and you just in whatever. That's jail. To those of you that have never been, that's jail. Yeah. They did that man coming back from Canada like that. They're doing a few people like that. And I kept telling y'all, I said, this feel like jail, babe. I know what jail feel like. And the last time I flew, which is when I went down there with Auntie P and came back, I was like, yeah, I won't be doing this. And wrote about it in my journal. I was like, yeah, something is, I'm not feeling flying no more. I'm not going to be doing this. Tell me that's not crazy. And it was last year. Literally, I was looking through my journals because I just, like I said, I've been just looking through my journals, looking through just different things. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I told y'all, I said, it feel like jail to me. It feel like you being processed in jail. I don't want to feel that feeling. And that's exactly what's happened. They are having to hand over their phones and open them up. The people can scroll through their phone. If you got anything about this man or anything like that, that's crazy. I used to fly all the time. I never had to give y'all I had to put it on there, but now you have to hand them their phone. And if it's an extended search or whatever, they can go through your phone. You said I can see how everything is falling in place. I'll love it. I'll love it. Every little bit of it.
We have some big news right now. Ukraine is saying that Russian drones have attacked the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, the site of the massive...
That was in, what's the name? That was in here. Here we go.
Between the U.S. and China now extends to the U.S. Postal Service, which announced last night that it will not accept any packages mailed from China and Hong Kong. The trade fight between the U.S. and China now extends to the U.S. Postal Service, which announced last night that it will not accept any packages mailed from China and Hong Kong. The decision is part of a dispute that has led each country to impose new tariffs on one another, and Acorn now reports on the immediate impact.
At the headquarters of Hong Kong Post, a sense of confusion from customers.
I was trying to send my package to the US, and now I have to find another route, so I don't really know what's going on. Hopefully it will get fixed or sorted soon.
What did they say to you?
They just said it's suspended.
In a surprise announcement, the US Postal Service said it was suspending all packages from Hong Kong and China. It comes as part of President Trump's decision to enforce new tariffs on China. He has also scrapped the so-called de minimis exemption, a trade loophole that allowed packages valued at less than $800 to be duty-free from China. For years, US Customs and Border Patrol have raised concerns over the increasing volume of packages that go unchecked. Trump has seized on that, claiming this is one of the ways that fentanyl gets into the country.
How many small businesses in America use the United States Postal Service and DHL to run their businesses? Think about all of the TikTokers and people that have different TikTok shops and stuff like that. How you getting your stuff in? And normally those packages come through the United States Postal Service, do they not? I don't know. I ain't never really ordered off of Temu, but who bring that? Who bring your Shein packages? Amazon don't bring Shein packages. Who bring them? Would this kind of go along with no packages moving or not a lot of parcel moving around? Either because it's going to be too expensive or just you ain't going to be able to get it. that whole making the playing field even. Did y'all see China's not producing no Hollywood movies? What is that gonna do for the stars? Because China mixed down all the movies. Who's gonna edit it? Get all the, because they shoot them and then they send it to China for China to mix it down and do whatever they need to do and put all the stuff in it. China said, we ain't doing that. Yes, my friend shut down production in 2 businesses because of China tariffs. Now he's got no job. He needs screws and parts. So if nothing, 2024's mom and pop shops out of business, and now China is off limits, making only one way to get items. Okay. This, Sarah. You said this. There's definitely a lady said they lost her shipment. Crazy thing is, people can't pay a $22 trash bill. Nephew, this is the thing. My company is losing its customers, really. So daily, interesting. So let me tell y'all what came to my mind the other day. Right, I saw the clip where they was in the White House in the Oval Office talking about how much everybody made. Right, he made 900 million. He made 2.5 billion or whatever he made in one day, and that they didn't even get to the other people because I didn't get to see the whole video. Right, but what came to my mind is, and we talked about this before, God is about to let them people amass all that money. Let me go get this journal so I can tell y'all exactly what I'm seeing. And I hate to say it, one of my pastor friends was on social media today saying, this is the month, this your money month right here. Have you lost your damn mind? I ain't saying God can't do it, but when do you stop selling prosperity, seeing as how the world's economy is burning down? When? And this is Pentecostal apostolic baptizing Jesus. When is you gonna tell these people they need to? Ain't no damn money. What is you talking about? That is selling false hope. I said, where are the watchmen? The enemy is coming. That's scary to me. People are losing their livelihood, and these pastors is still selling pipe dreams. God, man, listen. I know I ain't been a perfect dean. I know I haven't. I didn't have to say I'm sorry a lot of times since I've been here. They didn't abandon the walls because ninjas don't listen in 2025. Listen, this the thing. I believe that God called me to be a watchwoman. And I believe that I stood at the top of that tower. And whenever God told me to yell something as loud as I could, my daughter said, "You always on the internet yelling." I'm a watchwoman. But hopefully, even though it don't matter what y'all think, yeah, I mean it does, but you know what I'm saying? God is the one that's gonna judge me when I say this. Hopefully y'all understand that I took my job here seriously. I pray that y'all believe that. Because when I see my friends who know the word not warning the people about what is coming, it almost makes me sick to my stomach. You have all of these people's lives in your hand and you just selling them dreams. You are. Do you realize how many people can lose their jobs if can't get nothing come from China? Y'all, that's all our warehouses. Flooring, pipes, pads, everything. Food. I might not have said it in the right way, but damn it, I wanted y'all to get it, because this right here. Oh yes, and we thank you for speaking up and God for shaking us and waking us, peeling the scales off. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's scary. Trucking and possibly every big trade job. Come on, nephew. So you still telling people, and I'm not saying that God cannot bless you with finances, but is that realistic in this moment? Should you not be telling your people? Okay. Well, first off, let me read this first, and then I'm going to show y'all something that I was reading in this annotated apocrypha. This was last night, so not this morning. I said, "Good evening, Dad." So Trump is crashing the markets to make his friends rich. It's silly, really, because there won't be anything for him and his friends to buy. Maybe this is why you're going to cause the famine and death and destruction. It won't matter how much food you have if it keeps spoiling. And who will make you money if everyone is sick or dead? What animals will you buy if there are plagues? What good will money be if you don't have clean drinking water? Thank you for warning us. It's been an interesting 4 years. Made me think about Trump now. They amassing all of this, but God is getting ready to tear this earth up. He's getting ready to make all of the water bad. He's getting ready to burn everything. So what, you gonna be the ruler of a burnt up, dead, like, what you about to get? He letting them amass all this money, but it ain't about to be nothing. You said they think they can go to Mars. Yeah, okay. Think about that. So they really thinking they one up in everybody, but really God said, trick your nigga. Because in just a year or so, everything that you thought you was snatching from everybody else, it ain't going to have no value, none of it. It's not going to have any value. It won't matter how much money you got, because think about it. He could allow our food to stay good. And anybody with a whole bunch of money that tried to ruin somebody else's life to get it, he can just let their food spoil. It just keeps reminding me of when the people they besieged Jerusalem or wherever they was at, and God let the water come out for the Israelites, but not the other people. So they'll go up there and put their cup up there, and nothing came out. God's people go up there, water running like the pipe busted on in the hood. They go right back up there, no water. Because whatever you do to somebody else, it's going to be done to you. So they are taking everything and ruining people's lives, whatever. What y'all think gonna happen? And God said they only gonna live good for just a little bit. It ain't even gonna be that long. And I'm not wishing no bad on them, but it's crazy that y'all trying to amass wealth right now when God is getting ready to tear up the earth. When all these people about to die. When the food is about to be bad. Like, what you getting really? Tell me. What are you getting? They not getting nothing. Anything. The paper ain't gonna be worth the money it was printed on. Anyway, so I was over here and I was looking at some stuff. I hope I marked it. Dog it. I don't think I did. I think I took a picture of it though. Okay, I'll have to look for that. So we'll just start right here. So, y'all want a little bit of story time? I know some of y'all done already read this. I'm in the Jubilees. I don't know if you have this one. This is the one I'm going to be reading out of. Okay? So if you have this one, okay. If you don't worry about it. I just want to read some stuff to y'all. And I know it's something we've probably read before. Dead trees, chaff walking around, blind, continuing what they doing until things happen, just like the people of Egypt before the plague started. Nephew, you all in the business? Because I was all over there last night. I promise you I was. Listen, I've been gone from CERCA YouTube channel for a while. I need to in my life. Okay. Well, you know, forgive me, Lord, just send me what I want. Right? But think about that. Think about that. What are they really getting? What are they getting? The joke is about to be on them. The same way it was in Egypt and every other place. So yes, right now it's gonna feel like, God, this is unfair. That they have control over so many different people's lives, but God is in control of everything. And I'm not saying we're not about to go through nothing, because we are. But I'm just saying the joke is on them already. Which is crazy. Give me 1 second, y'all. And then I want to read some stuff to y'all. I hope I took pictures of it. All right, here we go. Trying to make a lot of our books. Remember that. All right, y'all. All right. I'm just going to read, okay? And we're going to just stop along the way, okay? Is that all right with y'all? Because it's a couple different places we going to be. And I'm just going to just go where I was at. As y'all can see, I was in here last night. So, all right. So it says, this is talking about when God summoned Moses in the middle of the cloud, right? And so it says, the Lord taught him both what had happened previously and what will take place. He conveyed to him the divisions of all the times regarding the law and testimony. He said to him, listen to this, pay attention to all the words that I am telling you on this mountain. Write them in a book so that their generations may know that I have not abandoned them on account of all the evil that they have committed by straying from the covenant, which I am establishing today between me and you for their generations on Mount Sinai. Thus, when all these things happen to them, they will know that I have been more righteous than they with the respect to all their judgments and curses. They will know that I have truly been with them. Now you write for yourself all these words which I proclaim to you today, for I am aware of the rebelliousness and stubbornness before I bring them into the land that I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying to your descendants, I will give a land flowing with milk and honey. They will eat and be satisfied, but they will go after other gods who cannot save them from any afflictions. My ear is ringing. The testimony will respond to this testimony. For they will forget all my commandments, everything that I command you. They will follow the Gentiles and their idols and their abominations. They will serve their gods and become for them a stumbling block, distress, affliction, and a trap. I'm going to go back. They will serve their gods and become for them a stumbling block, distress, affliction, and a trap. Anybody got an amen? That the moment that you forgot the things that God had taught you and the things that he did for you, instantly you were in distress. And until he let you out, you was trapped in that bad boy. Anybody been in this situation? Just say amen if you have ever strayed away from God and made a person your idol, a job your idol, your kids, your car, your houses, whatever else. And when you looked up, you had affliction, you was sick to the stomach for whatever the situation was, or maybe you was really sick. He said, I gave my laws more than one time. Maury got his hands in. Maury, auntie too. I ain't got no socks on her. I'd have mine up too. Don't worry about it. That part. Maury said, hands and feet. Me too, Maury. You hear me? But it just made me think about how we think we sneaking into a situation and don't even know we sneaking into a trap. We sneaking into distress. We sneaking into affliction. You said true story. I was stuck with cancer in 2013. Uh-oh. You're not getting over. So the same trap that these government officials and stuff think they about to put us in, this little rat race we in, they gonna be in it too. Because their actions are going against everything that God said you're supposed to do for your fellow man. Moving on. All right. It says many will perish. I'm going to say that again. Because you go against God's way, a lot of people going to perish because folks is watching you. It says they will be captured and fall into the hand of the enemy because they have forsaken my statutes, my commandments, the festivals of my covenant, my Sabbaths, my holy things, which they made holy for me among them. My tabernacle and my holy place, which I, he said, made holy for myself in the middle of the land, in order to place my name upon it, so that it may dwell there. Let me ask you a question. Now do you understand why Middle Earth is so important? So anything that you watch about Middle Earth, it's talking about ancient Mesopotamia. I did some digging last night, and I because I wanted to see the city of Hermes was between Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt in that line, right? The hermaphrodite, and I'm not saying it's intersex now, but I'm going somewhere with this. I did not know that Aphrodite had a real son named Hermaphroditus or Hermaphrodontis, right? This is what I was up doing last night, just looking, and I was looking at different things because there are certain things that make so much sense right now. Like I was looking at the two Lamechs, because this got me to the two Lamechs. It was the Lamech born from Cain, and then there was another Lamech born from Methuselah, which is Noah daddy, right? But this Cain is the Cain that was messing around with the Leviathan. Now y'all remember a couple weeks ago when we went and we read about, well, it wasn't a couple weeks ago, it was a while ago, but we read the story about Jacob and Laban and how he put that branch with the water or whatever in front of the sheep so that they could keep multiplying. Y'all know the story. He did the same thing in here with the Leviathan so that they could mate, right? But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, they was in the city of Enoch, the one that Cain started, right? And we know that all of the stuff on the earth that was horrible came from a lot of it started in that city of Enoch, right? A lot of it. That's where they was drinking the blood and being with the animals and all of that stuff, which is all of the stuff that was happening, prior to the flood, because that's when the angels came down and they was teaching them sorcery and all of this kind of stuff and whatever else. It was all in that city of Enoch, Cain's city. I'm not trying to be mean or I'm just gonna read this to y'all, and y'all tell me if it sound like anything that's going on right now today, okay? Okay. Cain, the forefather of Lamech, who was marked with the leprous whiteness. For God had said, whomever slays Cain shall have vengeance visited upon him. Visited upon their head sevenfold. As Abel's blood cried from the ground, the same leprous whiteness was made a sign that was visited upon all of Cain's descendants, as it was their inheritance for 7 generations. Now, when I go and look in that big green book, it does not, like, it cuts off Cain's line. With Tubal-Cain and the other Jubal and Jabal and whoever else. Like, the line for theirs, it's very short. Very short. Very. Like, but I know they somewhere, their line is somewhere. They just not putting it in the books for us to find it. Because if the world got more wicked after Cain's daughters and sons got into Seth's line, this is all happening right before the flood, because what I was going right on before the flood, I need to understand. So, hold on, y'all. Okay. See this top one right there? See that? That's Cain's line. Right? See, in the days of Jared, it showed that they lines ended. Because this is Adam. Adam is still living. Seth is still living. You see this? You see it? But look, Adam's still alive, Seth's still alive, Enoch's still alive, Cain is still alive, Methuselah is alive. It don't show what else happened to them. And we know that Cain's daughters and sons became the giants. But the angels also infiltrated Seth's line as well. But they don't tell you who the rest of his line is in here. They cut it off. But we know that they didn't just all die out. Where is it? Right? Why does it just stop? So I was looking at how long Adam was here and what all he saw, because he was alive before the flood. He was alive when the giants was here. He was alive when the monsters were here. He was alive for all of that, right? So it says right here, oh man, Okay, hold on. Okay, it says Adam talk was set for 800 years, with Enos for 695, with Canaan for 603, and with Mahalalel for 535 years, and with Jared, who is the father of Enoch. He talked with Jared for 470 years, and then he talked with Enoch for 308 years, and he talked with Methuselah for 243, and Lamech, Noah's daddy, for 56 years. Right? It also talks about how Adam related to these people, what happened to him in the garden. Right? So Jared got a chance to talk with Adam. He got a chance to sit in his face. Right? So there is all of these people for 500 years, 600 years, 700 years, whatever. They got to sit in Adam's face and learn about the angels, learn about the garden, learn about the shape shifting, and all of the stories. Because how the Bible give it to us is he was here and then he wasn't. Even though it say 930 years is the amount of time that he got to stay there. So I'm like, God, he was alive. It say he died in 930 a.m. or 3074 BC. And then Noah was born in 2948 BC or 1056. So it wasn't that long, really, after the first man died that Noah was born. Do you hear me? So the stories were still fresh. No? Even if it was 100 years, that story is too many people that's still alive that he gave information to that can correct the story, yes or no? Yeah? We know that the angels transformed themselves into people and tried to mate with Adam, or did mate with Adam and Eve and different people. We know that Cain was alive at this time, and his family and his generations was running amok. I believe in my heart, because I'm starting to look at this, and there's a lot even missing from this, or they try to hide certain things. But if you know where to look, you can go find some stuff, and I'm not done with it yet. That's why I said I was up till 5 o'clock this morning, so I'm not really going to talk about too much of it just right now. But this Lamech that was running with the giants, it don't give a time of when he died, right? It doesn't give a time of when this Lamech died in here. Now maybe it does in the Bible, but on here it doesn't give like how many years he lived. Well, right here it says a furbisher of everything, cutting instrument of copper and of iron, right? But they say that that's Vulcan of the Greeks. This first Lamech of Cain, right? You got to go through a whole long time. I didn't count the years. And this is where Vulcan shows up over here after the Tower of Babel. So if Tubal Cain from Cain is Vulcan from Greek mythology, and we know that this says this is the Assyrian and Babylonian kings, and this is after the flood. He was living before the flood and after the flood. Because they say right in here, okay, that this Tubal Cain is who the Greeks call Vulcan. But there's like thousands of years in between that guy and this guy. And in this book, it don't show nowhere where he died. It just cuts the lines of these people off. Hello? Is y'all still here with me? Y'all done left me? So how was he alive before the flood and after the flood? Because the Tower of Babel was a long time away from when he was alive. If we know for a fact that it says, has there been another additional revision? Several. Y'all got different ones than I got. Yeah. So this is what had me looking. So this is what had me come over here, because I had to figure out if it was the first Cain or the first Lamech or the second one. Which book is what? This is the book of Lamech of Cain. So listen. Okay? Because I got to figure out which Lamech it is. Right? So listen now. Now we know that Cain's line was cursed. Right? Right? We believe that. Cain's line was cursed. Everybody agree or no? Before I go forward. Okay. Okay. Listen now. It says, with this marked inheritance, Cain's descendants sought to do all that was wicked on the land in the sight of the Lord, for they had been marked by him. For the descendants of Cain have received unto themselves damnation, which was the fair portion of Cain's sin. And God refused to be angered by Cain's wickedness, for Cain was not forgiven. And the descendants of Cain practiced all manner of evil, and that they shall not be forgiven unto men. So God ignored the line of Cain, for they were of no use to him. So I'm wondering, because this is the book of Lamech of Cain. I'm wondering if that's why they don't do the rest of his line in there, because God was ignoring them. Because this person didn't write that book. Right? And Cain's lineage is the people that kept telling God's people to do all of this crazy stuff, as to why the earth had to be flooded by the time Noah came. It was so wicked. Now look at this. Okay, so just hear me. I know y'all like, what is CERCA talking about? Just stay with me, okay? Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. I see this why I don't be describing stuff until I'm just trying to show y'all how I was up, okay? This how I be having to do stuff because I be having to make it make sense. And then we're gonna get back to the Jubilees because it's important, okay? Just understand. It says, and evil was in man's touch, so all the land touched by Cain and his marked descendants was brought unto desolation. So all of Cain's descendants had a leprous white spot, and anywhere that they went, the folks with the leprous white spot, any land that they touched, it was devastated. It was left desolate. They took all of the resources. If they didn't burn it, it was nothing left. Now, I'm not trying to be racist when I say this or funny or, whatever. But is that not what's going on with white folks right now? For the last 500 years, 600 years, wherever white folks went, if there was resources when they got there, if there were indigenous people when they got there, if there was oil or diamonds, anything, that place is decimated. It's messed up. The governments be in a shamble. It be genocide. And I just think that's crazy. I'm not trying to be racist, but it's so crazy that the people with the leprous white spot that don't care about killing other folks for what they want, I would think they would have made cities long ago with those safe cities for all those who were murderers, etc. Okay, still kill and destroy. I'm just seeing if y'all seeing it. Okay, so here we go. And this is not to my white cousins and stuff. I'm just saying, I just want y'all to see something. I'm not being mean, or I'm just showing y'all. We go and just move around because we're going back to this Apocrypha in just a second, okay? Here we go. It says, and hell's breath was upon the land like a cloud, and there was no goodness or good men to stop it. Interesting. Therefore great darkness dwelled within the earth itself, for it was the first evil season, and the rocks themselves groaned with the groanings of mortally wounded men. And all mankind needed more rest in that time, for mankind stood all their days, restrained and supported between the dead and the living. The great beast of the field rooted into the land, and in the heat and wrath of passion pushed out their hatred and fury as fire upon the earth. Upon this violence, both men and beasts were wounded as unto death, and healed often. Wounds in that time healed quickly. Right? What's getting ready to happen to our earth right now? Darkness and fire. Because the world is so evil now. We know darkness and fire is coming, right? It said evil swirled like a cloud over, like a storm, but it hadn't rained yet. So y'all know how in the cartoons, Ghostbusters, when the spirits go up and they're swirling, they got that whole swirl that be always over, like where, so you know where the evil is. It's like the demons are swirling over, and it's like a cloud cover, but you can tell that cloud is different from all the other. You just know it's evil right there. So what we see with Gandalf and all of them, all of the different wizards, when they stand on the thing and they use their thing, yep, like the top of a tornado. Yes, ma'am. Like Storm. Like the people that's making storms right now. Moving on. Okay. So this is Lamech's youth, and it said, and the roads and paths were such that no fowl knew, or no vultures seen them. And upon the paths one could meet a man, a giant, or a son of God, for this was the time when the sons of God came and mingled with the marked descendants of Cain in the line of Seth. And there was no righteousness in the marked bloodline of Cain until the time of Lamech, and there was none after. Here we go. As a child in the center of the city of Enoch, Lamech questioned his father, Methuselah, I believe that's how you say it, on the history of the earth. Interesting. For young Lamech was distraught that there was no forgiveness for the marked bloodline of Cain. Lamech asked, did not God say, let there be light, and there was light? And did God call the light day and the darkness night? So he goes through and he answered all those questions. But his daddy said in answer, nothing hovered above the face of the waters. And now sin lies at the door, and it desires for you. Its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. So one of Cain's lineage told Lamech, nothing hovered over the water. What hovered over the water in the beginning of earth? In the beginning of creation, God's Spirit. So early on, they started to deny that there was a God because God wouldn't talk to them. You hear what I said? Because God wouldn't talk to them, they start rearranging the word. He said, ain't this what he said? He said, didn't nothing hover over no nothing. Do you see how easily that whole we created man story could come in if they was already talking about God's Spirit didn't hover over the water? Even though the man, the first being that was not born, that was created, was still alive, telling this whole real story, you got the line of Cain saying that ain't how it happened. So early on, in the first generations, the Nephilim and all of them started to teach humans or other people that God was not real. They wanted them to worship them. We know this, but we think about different things and where it came from. It started way back with Cain's line. So when you think about what God is getting ready to do or what he did at the flood, look how long people have been talking crazy. It didn't even get 5-6 generations out. And people was already denying that he even existed. So people make it like it's all drastic what he did. He like, do you know how long they've been talking crazy? They've been teaching the generations to worship them and to do these horrible things. This ain't nothing I just came up with in the last 120 years. I've been stopping myself. If it was 3,000 years, we'll say. You got 2,500 years of people telling people God ain't real. Don't believe that the same spirits that are consistently whispering in the ears of atheists. Come on. And the other guys that people serve. We about to get to it. We about to get to it. This one, I know y'all like, Circle, what is you talking about? I just need y'all to see. Because people, act, they about to cut up like God ain't got a reason. He do. And it started a long time ago. A long, 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 long time ago. You said, and they still doing it, Nisi Poo. This is what I'm telling y'all. So what's about to pop off, all of this, even these spirits that is doing what they doing right now, listen. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go. So it says, Lamech then asked, and who did my ancestor Cain take from Nod as a wife, that she conceived and bore Enoch? What is the name of this woman whom Cain met? And Methuselah stretched forth his hands towards the people of the city of Enoch and said, who is my mother and who are my brethren? Behold, my mother and my brethren. And behold, those that surrounded them were in the hundreds with marked skin. So in the city of Enoch, the first city, the city of Enoch, not the Enoch that was alive during the flood, Cain's son Enoch. We'll say everybody there had vitiligo. When everything that pretty much that came through this line has been as dark as the people of Sudan. And there's hundreds of these people. Now, we've talked about this before. There are certain African countries in different places around the world that albinos are either seen as one of two things. And I'm not saying I believe this. I'm just saying they're seen as like a magical thing. People chop them up, or they push them away because they feel like they're cursed. Right or wrong? Do we agree? That's how there's whole places where the albinos are. Right? We know that Abraham, Noah was an albino. Because remember, his daddy ran and said, I think that my wife cheated on me with an angel because his skin is pure white. And he got this gold hair. I think something didn't happen here. He thought she snuck off with an angel. Right. Okay. So here we go. It says, and Lamech's questions never brought about an answer from Methuselah or Methuselah that satisfied, I guess, his whatever. And Lamech grew older. He became bitter in his soul, for Lamech knew that God did not smile upon him because of of his ancestor Cain and the mark, right? So it talks about how Lamech didn't do certain things, right? And he wanted God to hear him, right? It talks about he didn't SA people. He didn't turn his body over to the spirits or the giants for defilement. Lamech would not enter the temples for pleasure or drink any of the potions that were offered to him. Lamech did not worship the sons of God as the others did, for the sons of God practiced divination, spells, and resurrection, which is necromancy. He said he didn't give his body over to the spirits. And he didn't give his body over to the giants. Do you believe that people conjure spirits and that they can materialize in your face? Yes. Anybody else? You believe it? Do they show us in Hollywood that they conjure demons for that spirit to inhabit a body or to materialize, to find a woman to sleep with, to try to put this evil demon, they literally call it a demon seed in a woman? Or there is a succubus that does it to a man and tries to get pregnant by a man, but it's an evil spirit, it's not even a real being? You said Rosemary's Baby. Okay. So what we saw and what we see in all of the movies where the devil comes or a fallen angel comes and they take a body, sometimes they're conjured, sometimes they're just here. But this same thing was going on before the flood. And if the Bible tells us, right, that you know you might have let an angel in your house unaware, how many of us might have connected with a demon, literally been intimate with a demon and didn't know? Hello? We don't know. Because if you let them, if it looked like an evil, scary monster, you wouldn't have let them in your house. So that means they look like a regular person. So the same thing. Oh my God, you see that new movie Sinners about to come out? That's what it made me think of. I've seen, I didn't go look at what exactly it is, but I saw the Sinner thing come out. Right. So this was happening before the flood. Do you still think that there are entities that they are conjuring right now, or that they're fallen angels that are here right now? And there are people, because we walking out of the will of God, I'm thinking that may be also the case for them using magic, just like what God did with the ring to control the devils in the Testament of Solomon. What if magicians could do the same for angels? Right, they can. They can. They can. They can. I feel like I have, because it made a statement to me that one other person would say to me, interesting. My ex, who is his mom, is her a different guy than your people. Interesting. Okay. So we know that before the flood, humans were sleeping with giants, and giants were sleeping with humans. Humans were sleeping with evil spirits, which could have been the fallen angels, because that's what they were. It says the sons of God ruled the city of Enoch. We know that Cain gave his daughters to the angels. Well, they had to have a physical body, did they not? Hello? They had to have a physical body. So if it's gonna be like in the days of Noah, what's walking around us right now? Because we keep hearing as in the days of Noah, but what was going on in the days of Noah, nigga? This is what I'm trying to figure out. This was going on. The earth was burning. It was scorched. It was a darkness that was over the literal earth. Exactly like we see in the Lord of the Rings movies and all of that. Well, what are we facing? They said it's going to be what? Days of what? And at this time, the earth is going to be getting destroyed. Exactly what was going on when the angels was running through this piece. As to why God decided to just go ahead and start over. Every single where they went, there was desolation. Devastation. They was tearing it up and just okay. It says in Lamech met Yuval the giant while walking the desolation of the land. Yuval's ways were tender, gentle, and delicate, and with Lamech, Yuval the giant was both kind and humble, right? They formed a bond. It said, and Yuval took Lamech to the edge of the sea, and they saw the Leviathan coming out of the sea, having 10 horns upon its head. Y'all remember recently on TikTok they had the picture of that 3-headed dragon that came up out the ground and they said it was AI? Didn't that thing have horns on it? And they kept saying it was AI. But that thing was so tall. And we know, do y'all agree that the Leviathan is coming back at end times? The Leviathan was up and moving around during the days of Noah. And the behemoth, which is the dinosaurs. So we agree that the Leviathan is a real thing. We agree. Right? Okay. So the Leviathan is coming back. Okay, look at it said, ooh. And the Leviathan was broad on both sides and great. And Lamech and Yuval the giant were small in his midst. Yuval was one of the first giants, like a titan. So we'll say maybe he was 250 feet tall. How tall is the Leviathan if Yuval and Lamech look small to it? If a giant looks small to Leviathan, and we know that the first giants was like 450 feet tall and under, how tall is the Leviathan? How big is it? If a giant you said 1,000 feet. Okay. I'm just saying. So, okay. And look up to the Leviathan. Great flow of waters arose like a storm. The Leviathan was large as a mountain and covered with earth and plants and trees. And Lamech and Yuval the giant stood in awe of him and his female. He's as big as a mountain. He's as big as a mountain. He got trees and wildlife and everything on his back. Covered with earth. It says, and I looked up to the Leviathan, and there was a great flow of waters arose like a storm. Ain't that what happened when Godzilla come out the water? When he come out the water, it be so much water falling off of him. So he implant, girl. You said whole island and then some. Basically, he could be one of these floating islands. Y'all remember when what do they call them? The disappearing islands, floating. What are they? Is it disappear ghost islands? They say a island will just come up, or a row of islands will just come up, and then it overnight it's gone. The mountain is gone. The island is just gone. Y'all done seen it. What if that's him? They always talking about ghost islands or whatever. I know it's a name where they just say islands just come up and then they just go away. Like 2 days is there, then it's just gone. Ghost islands, ghosts, whatever I don't know if they're Phantom Islands. Phantom Islands. I know it's Ghost Island, Phantom Islands. I just watched about a mysterious a whole TV series. Rika, so you feeling what I'm feeling here? You feeling what I'm feeling here? What if he is a phantom? Like we think, oh, it's just a floating island, phantom island, ghost island. But look at what's on this nigga back. It said the Leviathan, when he come up out the water, it's gonna be a flow of waters, and he gonna rise like a storm. Leviathan was large as a mountain, covered with earth and plants and trees. Trees. Y'all know the book. Y'all know it. Okay. Because if it's going to be like the days of Noah, then we need to be looking what's on this nigga back. Could be one of these whole islands that we just been looking at as, because if it's trees and here we go. Ooh. It said, for the movement of Leviathan was a big disturbance, and all who were about knew of his coming. And Leviathan was a large sea creature that was also seen on land. And Yuval provided Leviathan with ample food, saying, Leviathan, you will have life for many years to come. Take your ease, eat and drink, and enjoy yourself. Yuval then taught Lamech the ways of the Leviathan and gave Lamech command over them, both male and female, so the female and the male. And the Leviathan moved unscathed in all things and had skin that could not be harmed or pierced by any weapons or weapons of any kind. Okay. He made it the Leviathan. He made it him. Could those have been the dragons that are talked about in the Bible? Because this is the first Lamech, not the second one. The Bible talks about dragons, does it not? Do you believe that the dinosaurs were living before the flood? I'm going to ask you again. Most things that can make can reproduce, okay? So we know for a fact that there was dinosaurs. We know for a fact there was flying dinosaurs. You believe in a pterodactyl, right? No? During this time, all of the T-Rexes was around. The raptors and the things on the thing, they was all alive right now. So do you think it would have been beneficial as a giant to have a huge sea monster? And there was dinosaurs walking the earth that people was probably training. How was the earth getting destroyed? Have we not seen them using the dinosaurs to knock down all the trees, to pull? I mean, they showed us in the Flintstones, did they not? How to Train a Dragon. So y'all don't think they used the dinosaurs in war? Didn't they show us that in Avatar that they did? They was using pterodactyls in Avatar, was they not? Y'all believe that Avatar is based on an African people, so who was using them? So if there were pterodactyls and flying dinosaurs and huge eagles, could men have ridden on those? Yes, yes. How much dust do you think a pterodactyl would kick up if it was taken off? Probably like a helicopter. So when we read in the Bible prior to the flood and it says that they flew, what do you think that means now? If you believe that Leviathan, the dinosaurs was alive when Noah was alive, you believe this. Were they flying like a prehistoric Pokemon? Were they flying? When the Bible says they flew up in a dust storm, there was a dust storm and they were taken up in a dust storm, like getting on a terror. You said How to Train. I'm going to have to watch that movie. I'm going to have to watch it. Did they fly or no? If nothing is new under the sun, when it says they flew, is that what they did? You said it would be like a fleet of buffalo and all the dust. So people can get in a big bird right now and fly from one space to another space, but they have to stop and refuel. So are our airplanes just a copy of a pterodactyl that people used to ride, or whatever flying dinosaur there was at that time? If God said the same thing that was happening then is happening now, we can get on a jet and go from here to there in no time. How was they doing it? You said they filtering your comments. They might be. You said, yep, they had it in the Flintstones. Okay. So we're realizing how many things were here prior to the flood and in Noah's days. Even Shrek shows all of this stuff. Okay. 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 So when we keep saying, as it was in the days of Noah, what all was there? What was God allowing to happen to the land at that time? What was happening to the animals during that time? Because we keep saying, and I know everybody keep hearing it, so as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be, before the coming of the Son of Man. Okay, boom. But what was happening? Oh, sin. But what else was happening? Because if it's going to be just like it was in the days of Noah, then we need to go and be looking at all that was happening right before God came and destroyed the earth. It's very important. Because what if you're doing one of those things right now and you don't even know? Because they just say they was sinning. They was giving in marriage, getting drunk. Okay, but it was some other stuff they was doing. I know it had to be in order for him to destroy the whole earth. What else was happening? I know black magic. We just talked about that. Do you see what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? Because, yeah, we know the main stuff. But what else was going on? What else should we be looking for? Because there were signs. If we in the days of Noah, and we know it is because they done brought the hybrid beings back. They don't take that long to incubate. They find in so-called dinosaurs that, whatever. You said, yes, many different factors is playing into it. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. It says, Yuval then, and the Leviathan moved unscathed. We got that. So that the Leviathan, male and female, would follow Lamech as a walking beast. And both of the Leviathan ate flesh and inner parts torn from the bones of the dead beasts of the earth. Excuse me. Here we go. It says Lamech and Yuval in the giant in the high places. It says, and the sin swirled above Lamech and Yuval, the Rephaim giant, like clouds forming storm, yet the earth knew not rain. The sin was so thick that it swirled around Yuval and Lamech like clouds forming for a storm, but it hadn't rained on earth yet. Every time an evil entity comes onto the movies, they show us some kind of storm cloud, and then they appear. The entity, the spirit, either it be a wind storm, it be some kind of storm. It could be an electrical storm, but you will see it in the sky in the movies now. When the sin or the evil entity is in a concentrated place, that was happening in real life. Before the flood. So does this mean we about to get to see evil materialize? The dark energy from the sun. Listen, you hearing me? From sin. Do you see what I'm saying? Or even think about what's his in Spider-Man, when the green guy was getting ready to move around, or when he was getting ready, wasn't it a storm or something that used to come with him too? What's the green guy? I don't know his name. They used to fly and then his son took over. Yeah, no. Green Goblin. Didn't he have some kind of control over something like that? Or is that Sandman? You said, wow, that means sin was running rampant through that city. My God, cover your children. It was running rampant through the world. The world. It wasn't just that city. They was traveling the world, baby girl. This is what I'm saying. The sin was so thick that it was like a cloud over the people, over the land, like this. Think about all the magic they was using. You got fallen angels. Fallen angels are walking this earth at this moment, who are pissed at God because they can't get back up into heaven. They done created these giants that are teaching men to do every unclean thing. Do y'all think it's every unclean thing going on right now in our world? There's no limits to nothing. There's no respect. There's no law. You do whatever you want to do. It don't matter. Sadly, the sicker it is, the more people pay attention to you. The more foul, the more perverse, the more perverted, people pay attention. That stuff is where all the attention goes. Okay. So Tubal-Cain, the son of Lamech, who worked with iron and ore, so we know that he was a blacksmith, considered Leviathan. For Lamech had boasted, be afraid of Leviathan that can kill the body and kill the soul in this cursed land that is now hell. What are people saying? We've died and gone, or what? A lot of people, I know y'all been seeing it on TikTok. They've been seeing it. Or your other social media with all that's going on. They said we must have died in 2020 and went to. Y'all been seeing that? Y'all been seeing people say that? Anybody? In the comments, y'all been seeing it? Now, I don't believe that. I'm just saying. That's what people are saying. Well, that's funny because they saying it here. Girl, it's all over TikTok. Every time something bad happen, y'all ain't seen it? Y'all don't be in the comments then. Because, yeah, every time something bad happened, folks is under there saying, well, we died and went to hell. You seen it. You seen it. Y'all don't be in the comments. But if you in the comments, okay, so you just ain't seen it. It's a lot of people saying it. And they've been saying it for a minute. Basically, since he got in office. They've been saying, we must have died and gone to hell. 2020, blah, blah, blah. You said you have. Yeah, they saying it. You need my, yeah. They under them comments, baby. Everybody talking about we died and gone to hell and all of this other stuff. We must have, like, every time we do something. They putting it under the comments of when he's taking away rights and things like that. It's under those comments and posts. That's where they're putting it. And when I saw this, I said, ain't that crazy? Because basically the same thing happened back before the flood. You saw the news. You said, I saw a news reporter say that. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know how they not showing y'all, because under all the posts and stuff he's doing, they're saying it. They saying it under Aaron Parnas. If you follow Aaron Parnas, look under his. They saying it in there too. They saying it in there. They saying it in there as well. And I don't believe that, but that's what people are saying. Well, Lamech was saying it back. And it's so crazy because it basically came when God stopped answering folks and wasn't giving them what they wanted. And stuff started to turn upside down, and all the beautiful stuff that they was used to looking at, they didn't burned it up, they didn't messed it up, they didn't stripped it of all the resources. And so now they mad at God basically because the earth ain't as beautiful and whatever else. But nobody thought about that when they was going against God's will, and it was just slowly being ruined. Because it didn't happen all at once. But God had gotten tired and he stopped talking. And they was just left to deal. What did it say? He didn't talk for like 400 years? Could that have been the Dark Ages? When the demons was just doing whatever, just like in Harry Potter stuff and the what's the name? Don't know what you got until. Think about it. Remember? Because even in like Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings, remember they was like for 400 years, everything was black, or even like the Dark Forest. You know how in the Dark Forest they said it was so much black magic or evil magic done there that the area is dark, and you can see it going in that there is an evil presence that has now covered this or shrouded this place in darkness, and there's things that happen there. Right. They say the place play tricks on you. It's beings you don't want to go in there. That blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, there was a time for 400 years that God didn't talk to nobody on the earth. He wasn't responding. He wasn't saying nothing. What do you think was happening here? I was watching The Wheel of Time, and they used Amnon's name. They just spelled it differently. I keep thinking Nynaeve is Nineveh. We already know the Ogier is from the line of Og. There was another one that I looked and I said, they're literally giving us these other stories from Cain's line, because think about it. Who was doing all the magic, the Aes Sedais and all of that? Who was doing that? Who kept building these towers and they were practicing witchcraft and magic? These people were alive. Now, they don't give us their story in the Bible, but we know that they have archives too, because this is what the grimoires and stuff are, right or wrong. So could what has been going on in the Wheel of Time be the other stories that we didn't get? Could the Aes Sedai and all the people that we are looking at in the Wheel of Time be the children of the angels and their stories? Because if you believe that the giants came down and this is why the earth had to be flooded because it was magic, it was this, it was that, and it worked, they had stories that they passed down too. So we know that either after the flood or before the flood, there were some people on this planet that could do everything that we're seeing in the Wheel of Time. Yes or no? They had superhuman abilities. They could control the weather. They could control the earth. They could control the water. And they had to go study to do so. And the knowledge that they had, everybody didn't have access to it. So even watching the Wheel of Time or the House of David, that lady had that blue stuff. She took some of his blood, put it in there, and made a potion so that Saul could be in his right mind from time to time. You mean like mental illness medicine? They're not giving you no prescription without taking your blood first. Or already having your blood drawn so they know your... Who found the House of David or the Wheel of Time gruesome? What you saw, how people were treated in Lord of the Rings or any of those videos, well, how did you feel about the things that they were doing? Or even 300 or any of those movies, like the way that they dealt with people, how did you feel about it? The forms of torture that you saw, even in the Salem witch trials or whatever history you studied, with how they dealt with people, how did you feel about that? They were savage, okay? They were horrible. They were savages. Do y'all realize? Pure evil, okay. Angry, okay. Do y'all realize that whichever the worst ones were that made you cover your face for whatever they did, decapitating people and putting their heads on stakes, that we just read that it's going to be worse than that? What we getting ready to see? I see why God did what he did, right? And he said that the trouble that is coming now, the earth has never seen anything like it. And even after this, there won't be anything like he is bringing right now. So the reason we taking this time, right, you getting what I'm saying now. The Leviathan, okay, he got trees and stuff on his back. Then we got people that is not completely human that's running through this piece, which means the beast is the guy with the claw arms on 300 always creeps me out. Okay. Now y'all feeling me. You see what I'm saying here? You getting me? Because what all was running around on this earth before it got flooded? What all was happening? What did the earth look like? You see what I'm saying? Y'all feeling me now? Yep, gonna be unaliving in the name of their God in the synagogues and the streets. Right. And if God said that there's giants and these beasts were on the earth after, before the flood and after, they're here. And we know the hybrids is here because they're doing it in labs. They're just not telling us about it, but we know for a fact that they've been doing it. So we don't know what they're getting. Come on, monsters every. Right? Y'all getting me now? Because they told us a couple of years ago, some people saw some pterodactyls. I remember this. This is when I was still on other social media. I remember some people saw some pterodactyls and they kept saying that it was computer generated. I do not believe that now. Because first it was the pterodactyls that they was saying. People was like, "That, what is that?" They was in the planes. This was years ago. And they said, "Oh, it's computer generated." Well, then we had a dragon in 2022. And my son just called me and said, "Mom, there's some stuff they found an island that got the dinosaurs on it." Then my sister sent me that picture, the video with the T-Rex, the guy. He used to be on TikTok and now they can't find him. He went to the place or whatever else. So my question to y'all is, what is we about to see? Me and my husband saw a Bigfoot. I believe it. Because all of these beings and all of these things were going on, and lying saying it's AI, knowing they've been letting these demonic beings back in physical form. This, that. You see what happened to all the army people that come in and say, no, don't believe them. They've been doing these experiments, blah, 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 blah. Superhuman strength, animal hybrids. We've seen the giants. They're down on the bottom of here. And then you don't hear nothing else from that army person. Or why the heck are they making people? I can see like defense, but the scientist part of it, why is y'all, why these people got to sign non-disclosures? The dude that they said they took the giant of Kandahar to Ohio, down there in some thing, and he's been there so they could dissect him. But that's the same thing we saw him doing with the mermaids. They get the white suits, they block it off so can't nobody go there. Same thing they do with the giant bones that they find. You said, did you ever talk to the service guy? I don't know. When? How long ago was it? I don't know. Girl. I probably did. I don't even remember who you talking about. You said what, the labs over in Greenland? I don't know. I might have, girl. I don't remember. Like that sleep study they did on soldiers and kept them in the dark rooms and they were not human after. Okay, this. That's why they have to perform rituals just to power up CERN. Exactly. That'd be warning everyone. So yeah. Okay, they're ushering in their God. You getting me now? Y'all feeling where I'm going with this? Because it had me up all night just looking, because I had to go look at the stories of what they did and who they was and what line they came out of. And when I was got mad at them to see if that stuff is going on right now. Because if he says just like it was in the days of Noah, then what? What does that mean exactly? It says that the land was desolate. We having destruction. Weather is tearing everything up, is it not? And where weather isn't tearing stuff up, we have people bombing places and burning places, do we not? It's lining up with what Lamech was looking at. It was desolate, burned. Because of the evil that men had in their hearts. What's going to happen if we go to nuclear war right now? What's going to happen? If all these countries just start bombing each other, how will our world look? Will it look desolate? Will it be desolate? Smoldering fires everywhere like hell? Rotting flesh like hell? Death and crying and moaning like hell? Now they have this new tech called nubbin that you can put on your temple and completely zone out. Interesting. Right, it's scary and will be desolated like Fallout. Right, like the book of Eli. Okay. So now y'all get what I'm saying. I'm not trying to Mad Max. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. Because we keep saying, like in the days of Noah, but what all was happening? What was, because I wasn't here. I wasn't here in the days of Noah. And they say, the Bible just say giving in marriage and, whatever. No. No, there's more. What else was happening? What all was going on? Well, I know in the days of Noah, there was new species. I'll be right back. In the days of Noah, they went and got the old ancient information, and people was having sex with the dead and being impregnated by the dead. Tell me if that's happening right now. People was having sex with spirits. What is a spirit husband or wife? Tell me in Africa and different places in the Caribbean, they don't say that they got pregnant by their spirit husband. And women are sleeping with dead men and getting pregnant by that semen. go back to the beginning of this book, it said that humans was mating with giants. Humans was mating with spirits. There was mixing of the species. So let me ask you again. Is what was happening in Noah's days happening right now? Do we hear stories online about women going into the morgue and having intercourse with dead men and becoming pregnant? We do. So just like in Noah's days, people were sleeping with the dead and conceiving from a dead man. Yep. Do y'all agree? It said it in the beginning of this book that that's one of the things that was pissing God off. And we have stories of this right now in our news. Men too, but I'm saying women were conceiving and the spirit of that man's body was gone. He was dead. And I'm not talking about somebody give their sperm to a place and they implant it. No, they were sleeping with the dead and conceiving from a dead man. It's still happening. So that was something that was happening in the days of Lamech when the earth was super evil, and is it happening now? So that's one. The miscegenation of the mixing of the species of human and animal was happening during the time of Noah. Is it happening now? Men were worshiping the sons of God. Is that happening now? Sometimes they already be stiff, they. They do it. Yes, there was a coroner who went to jail because she had a dead man's child. Exactly. My uncle was a coroner. I mean, not a coroner. He was a mortician. So I know it to be true. I know. My uncle he worked for a mortuary for 20 years and then he had his own mortuary. I've heard stories. This is how I know. Okay. I'm going to leave that there. I knew that nail was going to come off. It came off, y'all. I knew this. The only one that wouldn't stay on. What the heck? I told y'all before it happened. My boyfriend was a mortician, and the stories that he told us, I already know. That's what I'm saying. We live in it and don't even realize it. All right, now I'm back over here. So it says they will be captured. We know they're going to fall in the traps. He done made it holy. All right, so it says they made for themselves high places and groves and idols. We know for a fact that the angel cities was all on high, and they are the ones that made the groves because they wanted it to look like the garden. They made idols because they wanted something big and tall, for bigger than the humans to pray to, and they made idols of themselves. They made images of the fallen angels' children, and they made people worship them. Okay, it says, and they bow down to all the works of their error. They will sacrifice their children to demons and all the workmanship of their erring minds. So they gonna think they doing right when they doing this. He said, I will send witnesses to them to warn them, but they will not listen. They will kill the witnesses and also persecute those who investigate the law. Interesting. They will abandon everything and begin to do evil in my sight. I will hide my face from them and give them over to the Gentiles for captivity, for devastation, and to be eaten. You see that? He said, I'm going to give them over to the Gentiles for captivity, for devastation, and to be eaten. Who was eating people? This the Jubilees. Slave masters, but prior to that, the giants. He said, I'm going to give y'all over to the giants, and they going to eat y'all. Luke 21 and 24 says the same. If I'm mistaken, it might. I don't know it right off heart. People doing rituals. Hollywood serves all the gods that these people served. They serve the fallen angels, and they also eat people, do they not? And drink blood. All the gods of Hollywood are these people's gods. They eat children. They eat women and men. They practice sex with the dead, do they not? Ain't that what's in Diddy's case right now? Not necromancy, necrophilia. They said they have video of this man having intercourse with a dead body. The history on Hollywood is so corrupt, it's crazy. Okay. So are the same things that were going on in the days of Noah going on right now? So we just checking off lists, are we not? Auntie. Oh my God. Talk to your lady family. I have to clock in now. Love you too, nephew. Okay. So God said, because they were so horrible, I'm going to give them over to be going through all this stuff, and they're going to be eaten. What did the Bible say about in this last days that people going to be doing? Ain't nothing new under the dad's yellow sun. Ain't this crazy, Auntie? So I'm saying, I got more, but I'm just taking y'all through the little, I was, like I said, from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock this morning, I was up looking at, because we keep saying, as in the days of Noah, they was going to be eating their babies, and people was going to be eating human flesh, like, because they going to be hungry. People are eating flesh now. Lovers of themselves. Come on. Facebook, Instagram, all of that, right? People already love. What do you mean? Is there gonna be? What do you think Facebook is? A book of faces, and everything on that page is about the person that has it, right? Social media is me, 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 me. Would you not call that lovers of themselves? People cut their bodies up. They mutilate their bodies for what? They say, I don't love the body that God gave me. I'm about to change it. Because I want to love myself. So I have to mutilate myself to love myself. Is that not what they're saying right now? Everything is about me, 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 me. I don't care what happens to anybody else. I don't care if nobody else got no food. I don't care if nobody else got this. Everything is about how much money I can get. How much attention can you pay to me? Is that not lovers of themselves? Look at what I have. Look at what I can get. Look at what I can do. Look at me, 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 me. That's a lover of yourself. Vanity. So much so that they make 1,000 filters so you don't even know what they really look like. But again, vanity is a trap, is it not? What's the trap that vain people get trapped in? It's a couple of them. Two things for sure. The 2 cycles of what? I'll give you the 2 I know. See if y'all grab them. Three. The vanity mirror. Right. But think about it. Do people get trapped in cosmetic surgery? A cycle? Vanity. They get caught up. And now I'm gonna change my nose. And now I'm gonna change my eyes. And now I'm gonna change my teeth. And now I'm gonna get my toes done. And now I'm gonna take this bone out. And now I'm gonna get my ribs removed. And now I'm gonna get some more injections. And now I'm gonna give me some pecs. And now I'm gonna get I just need a little nip. And before you know it, they don't even look the same. So one of the traps that vanity gets you in is that. The other one is doing anything for money so that you can stay relevant. Selling your soul for beauty and fame. So you either have to mutilate your body, give up your manhood or womanhood, or continually put yourself in situations so that you can stay relevant. So you will only date certain people, like the TV show Botched, exactly. So lovers of themselves get in a trap too. Because everything that they doing show that they don't love themselves. Episodes of Nip and Tuck. But don't everything that they do show that they don't love themselves? People have died on the table. They have died going to Hollywood parties trying to be accepted and be a part of the beautiful crowd. They have sold their souls and their manhood and their womanhood to be fabulous and famous. Look at the people that get on social media and do all that they do because they want people to pay attention to them because it's me, me, me. People put themselves in crazy. Look at your Uncle Shannon. Moving on there grunting like a wild wildebeest. Hallelujah, anyhow. Devil. No, he was wrong for that. We do not need to know. You said, girl, I thought he was going to stroke out. You said he was so wrong. Stay relevant. Got people talking about him and it made them come to his show. That's supposed to be a private moment. But how many moments like that do we see all the time now so that people can get famous? I don't care what I have to do to get to the top. You said the way I just showed up, girl. I'm just saying. Let's see. OnlyFans, exactly. Exactly. And the OnlyFans is all about you. Whatever you want to do there. I felt like I looked up at the TV and we was making the same face. Listen, Nikki. I don't know no parts of it. All right. It says, but they he said he gonna give them. He said, I will remove them from the middle of the land and scatter them among the Gentiles. They will forget all my laws, commandments, and teachings. They will forget month, Sabbath, festival, jubilee, and ordinances. Okay? This is talking about the what's gonna happen. All right, here we go. It says, write for yourself this entire account that I proclaim to you on this mountain, the first things and the last things, and that which happens throughout all the divisions of the times with respect to the laws and the testimony, and during the weeks of their jubilees until eternity. So he gave him everything from now until eternity, until when I descend and live with them throughout all the eternal ages. He told an angel of the presence to have Moses write what is to happen from the beginning of creation until when his sanctuary will be built in their midst forever and ever. The Lord will appear in the sight of all. Everyone will know that he is the God of Israel, the Father of all the children of Jacob, and the King upon Mount Zion forever and ever. Zion and Jerusalem will become holy. The angel of the presence, who was moving in front of the camp of Israel, took the tablets of the vision of years from the time of creation of the law and the testimony regarding the weeks of their jubilees, every year in their full number, and their jubilees from the day of creation until the day of the new creation, when the heavens, the earth, and all the creatures will be made new, as the powers of heaven and every earth, creature of earth, until the sanctuary of the Lord will be created in Jerusalem on Mount Zion. All the luminaries will be made new for healing, peace, and blessing for all the elect of Israel. Thus may it be so from that day until the days of the earth. And to all days of the earth. I'm sorry. So when I was going through here, I don't know why I didn't mark this. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay. All right. Y'all okay over there? Y'all all right? Yeah. Okay. I know this is kind of drawn out, but I wanted y'all to see and really understand why we about to see the stuff we about to see and what we are about to see. If God keeps saying that there is nothing like it, there's never been anything like it, and even after now, there's not going to be anything like it, what does it look like? If it's worse than all that we've read about in the Bible, in our history books, and we've seen, in the stories, if it's worse than that, what does that look like? And if he said in the days of Noah, what did it look like? What all, not just the lovers of themselves and giving in marriage, with drinking and, weddings. What else? That's the light work right there. But what's the devastating stuff that people's hearts are going to be given out with fear for? Like, what? If what Noah saw made him an alcoholic the rest of his life, and he lived 350 years after the flood, and the nigga was alcoholic all the way until he left, then what? If it messed him up where he had lived about 500 years prior to the flood, now he might have been an alcoholic before that, but for the last part of his life, for the last 350 years, he was a drunk. Well, how crazy was it, what he saw? That it made him want to drink every day for the rest of his life. When he saw God's anger and God's patience run out, how devastating was it? So is it in the days of Noah. Whatever he saw, he didn't want to be sober no more after that. So tell me, what does God's anger look like? What is him being fed up and done with something look like? Beyond what we can imagine. And I'm not talking about nobody's habits or nothing. I'm just saying, are you picking up the magnitude of what this did to a man that had already lived 500 years? You know how much you could see? The earth was wicked. The giants was there. They was eating people. It was all kind of stuff going on. But whatever it is that he saw, it messed his head up for 350 years after that. How bad was it in the days of Noah? Because I keep hearing it tossed around, the days of Noah, but what? Again, now this is different. This is coming along with what we've been doing over here. So I'm in Jubilees 40. And it says, at that time, Pharaoh had 2 dreams in one night concerning the subject of famine that would occur throughout the entire earth. At that time, Pharaoh had 2 dreams in one night concerning the subject of a famine that would occur throughout the entire earth. Did it say it was only going to happen in Egypt? Did it? Him hearing people bring being boiled in water, the smell of earth after the flood. Ooh, girl. And they stayed on there for a year or 2. Ain't no telling. So the famine that was coming was going to be all over the whole earth. Do we have, or are we in a famine that is about to hit the whole earth? Absolutely. Okay. It says he awoke from his sleep and summoned all the dream interpreters who were in Egypt and also the magicians. He told them his 2 dreams, but they were not able to comprehend them. Then the chief, we know the story, he went and got Daniel, blase skip, So it says 7 years. He interpreted the dream. He said to them 7 years will come when there will be plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. After that, there will be 7 years of famine, such a famine that has never been in all the land. So this famine that Joseph prepared for, it had never been a famine like that ever in the world, in the whole world. And if the famine that is coming now, because God said everything that is coming now is worse than everything that has been in the earth prior to, when we read about this 7 years, it said the whole earth had never even seen a famine like that, which means the whole earth, the famine we about to see, ain't nobody ever seen nothing like it. Because this is going to be worse than this. God said, think of all the tragedies now, I'm paraphrasing, that didn't happen. He said, the famine that's coming ain't never been no famine like that. The death toll. I don't know how many people it was on earth with Noah, whatever, but it said that what's coming now is going to be even more brutal and worse than all of that we saw. So the famine that's coming now is going to be worse than the famine that the whole world saw when Joseph was in Egypt. And it's only going to be for 3 years, not 7. So even with them having 7 years to prepare, our 3-year famine is going to be faster but more detrimental or worse. More brutal. Imagine not seeing no healthy cows for 7 years. Imagine every single dog. Y'all got animals. Imagine all of your animals. You can see all of their bones. They got flies all over their body. Your cats, your dogs, your lizards. Everything look like it's on, you know. Everybody around you faces is completely sunken in, and you can see. Y'all know how the people was looking in, what's the name? They were starving them people in the camps. Just think, if we got to walk around looking and everybody looks like that. The animals are skinny like that. Y'all seen them people. They look horrible. I'm not being, I mean, it was sad. But think about it. They took pictures of them when they came. And when everybody was in them striped suits and them white clothes, think about how them people's faces look. Do y'all realize it's what we're getting ready to see is about to be worse than that? You can see they look like walking skeletons. And it's not just going to be the United States. It's going to be all around the world. So no matter where you go, you're going to see sunken in faces and ribs and bones that look so brittle. It ain't no meat on the bones. You said emancipated skin and bones like the living dead. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go now. It says Pharaoh should now appoint overseers in all the land of Egypt, have them store each city's food in the city during the time of the years of plenty. Pharaoh should now appoint overseers in all the land of Egypt, having them store each city's food in the city during the time of the years of plenty. Let it become the food for the 7 years of famine. Then the land will not perish because of the famine, for it will be very severe. I'm going to say this again. Why the watchman ain't telling people to stock up? Why? They used Daniel a lot. But for 7 straight years, he said everybody in your city need to be given a third or a fourth of whatever their food is to a bank, a food bank, so that everybody can go there for the 7 years that there's not going to be any food when the world is starving, so y'all will be okay. Remember, his daddy and his brothers had to come see him because where they was at, there was no food. That's how they got to Egypt, remember? Wherever they was, there was no food there. What's going to be crazy is if God allowed us to stack up in the years of plenty, the 3.5, since ours ain't 7, it's 3.5. When the rest of the world is starving, because God protected them. If the world was starving, y'all don't think that there was invading armies trying to come in here and get what they got? Before everybody got too skinny and whatever else to fight. We know it was giants at that time. Y'all don't think people try to invade Egypt to get the food? Because people was traveling there to get food. Just like they was doing in Sweet Tooth. Everywhere they went, what's the first thing that they looked for? You said it, Jamila. Were they willing to fight for food? Absolutely. Okay, you gonna take my next thing out? About to say, was they willing to kill for it? You just went on and shut it on down. Absolutely, to the death. I think my thing then came untied. Hold on. Okay. So there's been another time when the whole entire world was in famine, not just one area. And we getting ready to go, we are in that time right now. But this famine is going to be even worse than that one. We don't know what beast that these scientists have created that they're just waiting to unleash. We don't know what beast that God got waiting that's been in the core of the earth 3,000 years, sleep. In a form of stasis, just like hibernation. Because if the Leviathan was back then and is still alive now, that means that those beings can go in some type of hibernation as well. Yes or no? Hello? What about katydids or whatever you call them things? How long they eggs be in the ground and then they come up? Locusts. They can be in the ground, what, 10 years, 15 years? It's certain species that only come out every so many years, so they just be in there dead. And then how do something dead lay an egg? So they can come out at a certain time. It's only some come out every 7 years, some come out. So then the eggs just lay dormant in the ground, and then they just start to cicadas. They start to hatch. So if he can keep a cicada sleep in the ground for 7 years, what you think he got underneath the ground is big? Huh? If Leviathan was here when Tubal-Cain was around, and it's still alive today, what else has been laying dormant or asleep? Giants could be. They just found a 200-foot hole. Ain't no telling what came out of that over in Japan, where it's whole ecosystems under there. So we don't know what we about to see. You said those Lucas, they got human face and hair. That part, okay. So I pulled out the big green book so I could look and see. And I saw some interesting things about the kings and the rulers that was half cow, half man, half this, half that. That's why I said I ain't got it all the way through here. But I've been looking at the rulers and the kings and how they were described and how they were, you know, like one king I looked at, it said he was half man, half cow, half man, half snake. And this was before the flood. Animals we haven't seen in hundreds of years, probably thousands. The ice is melting. Ain't no telling what's been sleeping there. I'm not trying to scare nobody, worry nobody, but this is what I was up thinking about at 5 o'clock in the morning. God, what exactly are we about to see? You said just like it was in the days of Noah. Well, we watched that video and the dinosaurs was running up the hill trying to get away from the water. The giants, flying beings, all kinds of stuff was trying to get away. Running up to the hills, just like God said we gonna have to do. Just like in the days of Noah. So what gonna be running with us, trying to get away from the devastation of God, from the wrath of God? What's getting ready to be rocked up, awake, or rumbled away, that's been sleeping under the ground? I don't know. That's why I had to go back. And I'm looking at them like, okay, so what was they doing? You got mad at them. You gave them over to be eaten. You gave them over to go into slavery. You gave them over, and then he said that it was all of these people doing all of this stuff. The sin and magic was so thick, it was like weather. But do you understand what I'm saying? Because we done read about some... Think about old girl in Judges. That was before the flood or around that time or after, whatever. Think about the lady in Judges. That the whole city took her down. And then they chopped her up. It's going to be worse than that. Do you hear what I'm saying? When the people was throwing the babies in the volcanoes. When the people was throwing the babies to the alligators. I mean, we about to see some crazy stuff. Think about in the book of Og. What they was doing with the entrails of the people. And how brutal they were, that they was slicing them open and just letting they bowels just be out on the people, sliding on their bowels and all of this. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I was watching the Wheel of Time yesterday, and when they was hitting them people with them double axes and taking their whole middle section out, I'm like, God, help my mind. Oh, well, yet alone, this part. Because if it's going to be worse than everything that we've watched and everything that we've read about, because some of that stuff, when they be swinging them axes and stuff, I'll be like, ooh, just the blood spatter. People being dashed against rocks. I mean, this is all what was happening in Noah's days. It wasn't just the giants was running around and it was willy-nilly, freely. No, it was horrible, horrible things happening. And God said, what we are getting ready to see is going to be worse than that. That's mind-blowing to me. Because I can't even comprehend. It's hard to even imagine. So I'm going to keep looking through all that they was doing as to why he just got to the point where he was like, let go. I'm just get rid of everybody. Do you hear what I'm saying? I need to understand. Because it's getting scary already. And the only thing that's being taken away right now is our rights. They ain't started doing nothing to our bodies yet. We ain't went in the grocery stores and it's been COVID for 7 months yet. We ain't been living in a house where we gotta light it by candles and somebody gotta stay at the door all night so we make sure that don't nobody get in and steal. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? We haven't got there yet. Right now, it's just our rights being taken away, and it's freaking and our money, and things like that. But I was watching The Prince of Egypt, and he had it on the wall when Moses was looking at it. Had what? So don't think that I'm trying to bring misery. I want. He had what on the wall though? Again, like I was saying earlier, a watchman's supposed to be preparing you for what's coming, right? No matter how, if the ugliness of man hasn't started yet, I'm already, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. Hold on, y'all. So that's what y'all want to know what I was up doing all night? This, looking at all the judgments God was sending down on people and what they was doing, why he did it. So that's it. That's all. I ain't got much for y'all because I'm about to go and take all my books back in there. That's what I'm on today. I don't want y'all to be scared. I mean, it's nerve-wracking, or I can't say don't be scared, but we need to really prepare our minds for what we about to see. Because we say, oh, it's going to be worse and it's going to be in the days of Noah, but what was that like? What was going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. You're welcome. Sheesh, I could have swore my hubby just got home and walked in, but there was absolutely nobody here. Oh shoot. Exactly, pumpkin. And that's what I want to be prepared too. You know what I mean? Even though you can't prepare because he said it ain't never been nothing like it, but I can kind of take a compilation of everything that has already been happening and put that together and try to wrap my mind around that. Yeah, that's why I said I got more. I've been looking. I went and got the my Chaldean account of Genesis. It's in the room. It's some other books is in there, and then I brought these in here too because I keep hearing this SO in the days of Noah. Well, hold on. Well, what was happening in the days? People who aren't going to be in for a rude awakening. At least we know that part. Listen. You said the baby's throwing them to the crocodiles. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah. And that's what they're going to be doing. This is what I'm saying. The Bible says that they're going to be making women suckle snakes. Not her baby, but put a snake on a woman's boob. They're going to suckle snakes. Now, think about this, though. That could be a twofold message, could it not? Because what they doing now, miscegenation. What did we see in our books in Egypt? There was snake human beings, yes or no? Snake human hybrids. That would be a reason for a woman to suckle a snake. It said they gonna suckle vipers, right? Well, now they're mixing the DNA, and we know that there was a whole bunch of green people that were snake people in Egypt, and they mamas probably suckled them. I done had 2 dreams already of me seeing giants and was just in awe, but had to keep it moving. This, Rika. So you, girl, God, please, what? Tell me what? Tell me. Just can you help me? Help me. Shoot. Now y'all feeling like when I say I laid down at like 4 or 3, something like that yesterday. I don't know what time, baby. I didn't get up till 10. When I got up, I did a few things in the kitchen, baby. and I started reading, and before I knew it, my whole floor was covered with books, and I was up, and it was like 4:47, 4:59, something. I said, let me get my butt in the bed. The sun about to come out. You have many dreams of hiding with other people. I told y'all about the folks. That's why I'm nervous about getting with the folks, because, honey, I was running with a group of people. I had a whole group of people running with me. This is so crazy. For the past month, my kids have been obsessed with the song "Oh Noah" by the Jubileers. Very old song. God's gonna ride on the wind and the tide. Listen. CERCA, look up Death Mountain in Russia. Nothing but giants and supernatural stuff there. Death Mountain in Russia. Thank you. We need to pray for protection and discernment. Yep. Help me. Please help me. Baby. So, because see, folks, I'm going to be honest. I've been talking to a few of my church people, and they still living in La La Land. They are. They really don't believe that we're going to have to go through anything. I don't want to be that deceived. Because if you don't know, then it's already going to be too much. So then you might just give in to the mark or whatever it is. I need to know all the ugly. Like, remember when I first met y'all and I was saying, I'm going to tell you all the ugly? I know most people only tell you the good, but that ain't my job. I got to tell you about the bad stuff that's coming. Are we living in a lot of the bad stuff that I told y'all was going to happen in 2022? The bad stuff. Remember, people kept coming here and saying, you need to just talk about, remember, they kept asking me, what does all of this that you are teaching have to do with salvation? 3 years later, 2 years later, do you see what it has to do with salvation? Because you just might take the mark if you don't listen to the word and prepare for what God said is coming. And then your salvation is what? Because if you take the mark, you don't have no salvation. You don't have any. So all of this, so that you wouldn't be deceived into thinking you had more time. Because you see what they doing with the money. If you ain't got nothing, what you gonna do? He's stopping the stuff that's coming in. Postal service is regular people. So regular people can't order nothing from China and get it. Got it. Well, the businesses ain't going to be able to order nothing either. And pretty much 99.9% of our survival stuff come from where? It's 125% tariff over there and 145% tariff over here. All the while people are losing it. Can make it make sense. You said they just wanted to hear about the flowers and the sweet stuff, but didn't want to know or hear the truth. Here we go. I'm just trying to say, so how you going to get it? If he's stopping stuff from coming from China, and most of our survival stuff comes from there. If he's stopping the post office, how you going to get it? It was a time-sensitive information that God gave us. And today, yesterday, and these last 20 days should be showing you that he gave us time-sensitive information. You said wait until the banks close. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. And now everybody's saying, take your money out the bank. Take your money out the bank. And then people are saying, the money ain't going to be no good. The money ain't going to be, where good is it going to be? Blah, 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 blah. Exactly. That's why you should have had your stuff. Because we talked about it. We talked about having stacks and stacks of money and no food. Stacks and stacks of money and no yeast. Stacks and stacks of money, bonds, and stuff that you can't even get to if they turn off the power. It's all electronic money. We talked about what was going to be money. This. This the money right here. This the currency. Do you hear me? This man put tariffs on other countries, even if it is only 10%. We only got a few days before he hike it back up. He's just trying to make sure his people make enough money, and then they're not gonna care how much it costs for us. You said in the day after tomorrow, the guy said money ain't worth nothing. Here we go. Stocks going up for us, ain't they, nephew? Is nephew. Is. Now, those of you that make ghee, I made some yesterday. What can I do with them little salty bits that's in there? I scraped them out the bottom of the pan and put them in the refrigerator, baby, because that tastes so good. It tastes like salty mozzarella. So what can I make me a sauce or something with it? I said, my cousin told me I probably should try throwing it on the dehydrator and seeing if I could dehydrate it. I said, ooh. He said, because it's milk, the milk fat. He said, you might be able to turn it into a seasoning because it's so salty. I was like, so what y'all do with y'all stuff? Y'all throw it away? What y'all do with y'all's? Look at me looking like somebody grandma. Oh, I am. I forgot. What y'all do with y'all butter bits at the bottom of there that's all browned and good and salty? Do y'all put it in something? Y'all make a sauce with it, or what y'all do with it? It kind of tastes like a salty feta, like the consistency. What y'all do with it? Nothing. Y'all just throw it out? Because I'm trying to save everything. If I can use it for something else, I will be. Put it on French bread and toast it, baby. I got to dilute that a little bit, baby. I use salted butter, and all the salt is down in the bottom. I keep it sometimes and put it on bread to make croutons. Interesting. I can see that. Okay, so everybody put it on bread. You said you did, but that's not a good idea. What? What's not a good idea? It's in the fridge right now. It ain't nothing but milk fat. It's like cheese. It tastes like, it got the consistency of ricotta. It kind of tastes like mozzarella, just stupid salty. I'm going to use it for something. Hell, if I got to go get me some red wine vinegar and make me some kind of sauce, I ain't throwing that away. It's got to be something I can do with it. A little bit goes a long way. Mix it with herbs, butter. Yeah, because it's stupid salty. I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, I'm using it for something. It's about that much. And I done scraped the whole pan. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm going to figure out something to do with it because I sure made me some. And I had some of that stuff down at the bottom. And y'all know me. I'm going to taste it because I like butter. Put it on roasted veggies. That'll be okay. You know what? I might make some gravy with it. Mm-hmm. I'ma find something. I'ma find something. It's the bits that be down when you make the ghee. It's the burn stuff, that the milk fat that falls to the bottom. But girl, so I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna find something. I was just asking y'all. Don't worry, I'm gonna find something to use. Yeah, I put it right on in the refrigerator. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Cause you gotta use butter for the gravy, so that might just work out. Cause it's super salty, so you only need a little bit. Cause I mean, I dipped my pinky in there and was like, it was that salty. Make the chicken Alfredo bread. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see what I can do with it. I'm about to go. So, cause I'm about to get back to looking through these books and seeing what else we got to look forward to, so I can keep preparing my mind to do so. So yeah, I know y'all probably thought I was all over the place when I got in here. No, stay with me because I ain't done yet. I've been looking. When I told y'all I was going through the word to see what the craziest stuff was, so I can know what to prepare my mind for, even though God says it's going to be worse than that. Okay, well, let me look at all the atrocities, not to depress myself, but to prepare myself. Because I don't want to be thinking it's going to be, oh, we're just, put off in camps. No. If I turn around and it's a big eye that take up this whole window, they can just put their little finger through here and snatch me out. I need to be aware. You hear me? I gotta know what's going on. So I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. We'll probably have something going on this evening because I'm probably going to be asleep during the middle of the day. So maybe we'll have a turn up. I can't say for sure. It depends on what time I get up because I got a new neighbor and I'll be trying to be respectful. Okay. Yellow. Yeah. Y'all all right over here. Okay? I'm not trying to make nobody paranoid or depress you or none of that. I just want us to go so we can be ready. We need to know what's going on. We dealt with the ugly of the no food and the no power and all of that. So now we stepping into another ugly. And God has given us information so we can know what we're looking at. It's not saying it's going to be easy to go through, but at least we'll know. And that's where I'm at right now. You hear me? I love y'all. Because I want y'all to be okay. We're going to have courage and heart and a lot of other stuff. And that just doesn't come overnight. You got to build it. And so then just being prepared for what we about to see, I love you too, Pumpkin. Yeah. So I'll see y'all later. Maybe we'll have a turn up. Maybe we won't. I don't know. It just depends. Okay? Okay? I got my Hindu pants on, and you know how they tie in the back? Y'all know about these? These is the good summer pants, ladies. And you know they got that little, when you move a little bit, and they tie up and then tie up in the thing. These are some of my favorite pants. But I done got a little wider. So I have the cover. Now, if I wear these out of this house, I'm not worried about y'all, but I got cousins and nephews and nieces. But when I wear them outside, you gonna be able to see. Girl, they not gauchos though. Look, they got the side open. I got these at Goodwill too. Y'all can't really see them. But, they you pull them up and tie them here and then pull this and tie it back. But when you walk, they be open. I got these at Goodwill forever and ago, hun. And they are the ultimate covered, not covered thing. Oh, yes. And they comfortable and airy for the summertime. I thought it was going to be warm today, but it's freezing. So, there's that. And they go in and out of size. You know what I mean? So if you gain some weight, you can still wear them. If you lose some weight, you can still wear them. Because they just two big pieces of cotton. They're about this wide. And they got the little thing in the middle. Yeah, I'm going to show some skin when I wear these up this summertime. Don't worry about it. They don't. Listen, thank you. I got these at Goodwill years and years ago. Probably over almost 10 years ago, probably. I had them forever, but they still do the job. So, I love y'all. Find you some if you can at Goodwill because they be real comfortable. You can throw them on with the top of some sandals, baby, and be done with it. And you light and airy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't get to worry about that. Yeah. They be having them at the Indian stores, girl. Go to grab some, girl. Put them on with a cute crop or something, cute little top and some sandals. You ready to go. But if you got to be out in the park, you can get to the bathroom quickly. If you got to go behind a tree, you can do that too. Thank you. I'll see y'all later. Definitely look for some. If you can't, don't spend a lot. Go to the Goodwill. They have them there all the time. I don't know. They're kind of like wrap pants. Like how we used to have the wrap skirt. They're that same thing. Like the wrap dresses. It's almost that same thing, but in pants. They comfortable, girl. Just be free. I love you.